At 78, Barry Gibb stands as one of the last living pillars of a musical era that transformed popular culture. Born in 1946 on the Isle of Man, his journey from modest beginnings to global fame is nothing short of extraordinary. Raised in a working-class family, Barry's early years were filled with movement, from England to Australia, each place quietly shaping the sound and identity that would later define him. Music was never just a hobby, it was a shared language between him and his brothers. Together, they created something rare, a bond that went beyond harmony and into something almost instinctive. Over time, Barry became the creative force behind Bee Gees, guiding their evolution through changing musical landscapes. His voice, especially that unmistakable falsetto, became a signature of an entire era, one that still echoes across generations today. Building a legacy through music. Barry's influence in music extends far beyond performance. As a songwriter, he had an extraordinary ability to translate emotion into melody, crafting songs that felt both universal and deeply personal. Hits like "Stayin' Alive" and "How Deep Is Your Love" didn't just top charts, they became cultural touchstones. The success of the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack elevated the Bee Gees into global icons, with millions of records sold worldwide. Yet Barry's creativity didn't stop there. He wrote for legendary artists like Barbra Streisand and Dolly Parton, proving his versatility across genres. His work carried a consistency that few could match, blending technical precision with genuine feeling. Even decades later, his songs remain relevant, not because they followed trends, but because they captured something timeless about love, longing, and human connection. A life marked by loss and resilience. Behind the success, Barry's life has also been shaped by deep personal loss. He outlived all three of his brothers, Andy Gibb, Maurice Gibb, and Robin Gibb, each loss leaving a profound mark on him. For someone whose identity was so closely tied to family and shared creativity, this was an unimaginable weight to carry. Yet rather than retreat from the world, Barry chose to continue. His later work reflects a quieter, more introspective tone, shaped by memory and reflection. Albums like "In the Now" reveal not just an artist, but a man processing grief while honoring the past. His resilience lies not in ignoring pain, but in carrying it forward with purpose, ensuring that the music they created together continues to live on. A grounded personal life. Amid fame and loss, Barry found stability in his personal life. His enduring marriage to Linda Gibb has been a cornerstone of his journey. Together, they built a family that became a source of strength and continuity through decades of change. Unlike the fleeting relationships often associated with fame, their bond has remained steady, rooted in mutual support and understanding. As a father and grandfather, Barry embraced a role far removed from the stage, a quieter, more personal identity. This balance between public success and private stability is part of what has allowed him to endure where many others struggled. It reminds us that behind the legend is someone who values connection, family, and the simple moments that give life meaning. Reflecting on the past. With age comes reflection, and Barry has become more open about the experiences that shaped him. Among the most fascinating are his memories of crossing paths with John Lennon. For Barry, Lennon was more than a fellow musician. He was a symbol of artistic courage. Like millions of others, Barry had been deeply influenced by the Beatles during his youth. Their music didn't just entertain, it challenged conventions and redefined what was possible. When Barry eventually met Lennon, he was struck not only by his presence, but by his intelligence and authenticity. It wasn't a long or deeply personal relationship, but it left a lasting impression, one that stayed with Barry throughout his career. The man behind the myth. Barry's reflections reveal a more nuanced view of John Lennon. Publicly, Lennon could be sharp and outspoken, sometimes making comments that felt dismissive. At the time, those remarks were difficult to hear, but with distance and maturity, Barry came to understand them differently. He recognized that Lennon was navigating his own complexities, using humor and criticism as a kind of shield. In private moments, Lennon showed a different side, thoughtful, perceptive, even kind. Barry recalled small gestures and comments that revealed genuine respect beneath the surface. This duality is what made Lennon such a compelling figure, someone who could challenge the world while still carrying his own vulnerabilities. For Barry, understanding that complexity became part of appreciating the man behind the legend. A moment that stopped the world. One of the most powerful memories Barry shared was the moment he learned of Lennon's death in 1980. Like so many others, he experienced it as a shock that felt almost unreal. The loss of someone so influential wasn't just personal, it was cultural. Lennon had been a voice for change, for questioning, for imagining something better. His absence left a silence that was difficult to fill. For Barry, it was a moment of deep reflection, a reminder of how fragile even the brightest lives can be. It also reinforced the importance of authenticity, of creating something meaningful while there is still time. That moment stayed with him, shaping how he approached both his music and his life in the years that followed. Lessons from another artist. In speaking openly now, Barry doesn't present Lennon as perfect, but as human. That honesty is what makes his reflections so powerful. He acknowledges both the brilliance and the flaws, seeing them as inseparable parts of what made Lennon who he was. More importantly, he recognizes the influence Lennon had on his own approach to music. It encouraged him to move beyond simply pleasing audiences and to focus on creating something real. That shift, subtle as it may seem, is what allowed the Bee Gees to evolve and remain relevant across decades. It's a reminder that inspiration doesn't always come from agreement. It can come from challenge, from contrast, and from seeing the world through someone else's perspective. A legacy of truth in music. Today, Barry Gibb's story is not just about success, but about endurance, reflection, and growth. His willingness to speak honestly about figures like John Lennon adds depth to his legacy, showing that even icons continue to learn and evolve. Through his music and his words, he offers something valuable, a reminder that behind every legend is a human story, shaped by connection, influence, and time. As he looks back on his life, Barry doesn't just celebrate achievements, he honors the moments, the people, and the lessons that defined his journey. And in doing so, he leaves behind more than music. He leaves behind understanding, something that resonates just as deeply as any song he ever wrote.